Hi guys, welcome back to Kim's class. Today is the 5th lesson in a unit about friends and neighbors. But before we go over today's lesson objectives, I want to make sure you remember that the activities that you see while I'm working in this video, you can get for free. All you need to do is click on this link and it will take you to the place where all of these worksheets that look just like the ones you see in the video are. So again, click on that video and you can get those worksheets so you can work along with me. Now also on my website, kimsclass.com, you can find other activities that go with other videos on my channel. So go check out Kim's class. Sound good? Excellent. So let's look at what the objectives are for today. The first objective says, I can read and understand a letter of complaint and identify the important parts of a formal letter. We're going to practice some writing today. The next objective says, I can write a formal letter of complaint and include all of the necessary parts of a letter. Are we ready? I bet you are. So before we can actually begin to write a formal letter, it would help to read an example of a formal letter. Now, let's go over the vocabulary word that we learned in the very first lesson of this unit, and the word is complaint. So a letter of complaint means a letter that you write to express your dissatisfaction or being unhappy about something. So for example, if I lived in an apartment and my neighbors were too noisy, I might write a letter of complaint to the manager of the apartment. A letter of complaint. Hopefully you haven't had noisy neighbors. I know I have had noisy neighbors before. So let's go ahead and start our writing activity by reading a letter of complaint. So on the screen here, you see a formal letter of complaint. This letter was written by Mona Cravo, and she is writing it to her manager. Let's go ahead and read this letter together. September 3rd, 2020. Columbia Properties, 7524 65th Avenue, Waco, Texas, 76633. To whom it may concern, my name is Mona Cravo. I live at 2734 South Main Street, apartment B301. I am writing because my neighbors in apartment B201 are too noisy. I have asked them to be quiet after 10 p.m., but they still have loud parties every night. Because of the noise, my children and I can't sleep. Can you please tell them to be quiet? I hope you will take care of this as soon as possible. Thank you in advance. Sincerely, Mona Cravo. Now, you might want to practice reading that letter again. But for now, I want you to take a look at the 6 questions that go along with this letter. I'd like you to answer these 6 questions while your video is paused. Then turn your video back on and we'll go over the answers together. Sound good? Good. Go ahead and pause your video now. All right, class, let's go ahead and look at the answers. Number 1, what is the date of this letter? September 3rd, 2020. Who is the letter to? Columbia Properties. Does Mona know the name of the person she's writing to? The answer to that is no. Why do I know that? Because after the Columbia Properties, Mona says, to whom it may concern. When you don't know who you're writing to, that's what we say, to whom it may concern. Number 4, who wrote the letter? Mona Cravo. Number 5, what is the problem? Her neighbors are too noisy. And number 6, what does Mona want the manager to do? Answer, tell the neighbors to be quiet. Now you'll look and see that these 6 questions have to do with the 6 important parts of a formal letter. In a formal letter, you need a date. You need an address or a name of who you're writing to. If you don't know the exact name, then you would say to whom it may concern. You always want to include what the problem is and what you want done. And then, of course, you always sign the letter so they know who the letter is from. So, in a minute, I'm going to have you try to write your own letter of complaint. But to help you out, I decided to give you some example sentences that you could use in your letter. So what you see there are some words, the word advance, because, soon, to, and because of. You are going to fill in the correct word in each one of these sentences. Now, these sentences are about the problem of a broken window. After you write the correct words in each of the sentences, I want you to try to write a letter of complaint exactly like the one you've seen before in this lesson. So let's start with the first part. Let's go ahead and answer the questions number 1 through 5 using the words you see above. Pause your video, complete those sentences, then turn the video back on and we'll go over the answers together. Go ahead and pause your video now. Okay, class, let's see how we did with these questions. Number 1, could you please send a repair person as soon as possible? Number 2, I'm writing because my window is broken. Number 3, it is too cold for me to sleep in my apartment. Number 4, thank you in advance for fixing the problem. Number 5, my apartment is very cold because of the broken window. So now that you have these 5 sentences and the example letter of complaint above, I want you to try to write your own letter of complaint. Now, you can write this letter in many different ways. One, you can write it on paper and just practice. Two, if you're using these live worksheets, you can write in the gray area below. Or even better, I'd love to see your letter in the comments section of this video. Now, we might get a lot of letters, but that's okay. We can all learn from each other. So, again, write it on paper, write it in your worksheet, or even better, write it in the comments section below this video. So, that's what we've got for today. I'd love to look at today's objectives and see how we did. Can you read and understand a letter of complaint and identify those important parts of the formal letter? We've had some practice with that, haven't we? Can you write a formal letter of complaint and include the necessary parts of the letter? I'm sure you can. And remember, I'd love to see it. So class, that's the lesson for today. But before we go, I want to remind you of a few things. First, if you're interested in working on some of these worksheets while you see the video, make sure you click on this link and it will take you to these worksheets for free. Second, you can find other videos and other activities on my website at kimsclass.com. So as we say goodbye, I have 4 quick requests. First, make sure that you like this video. Second, click on the subscribe button so that every time I post a new video, you'll get notified. Third, if you think others may enjoy these videos as much as I hope you did, share it with them. And lastly, write me a comment in the comments section below. I'd love to hear from you. But for now, I have to go. I hope you know what a blessing it is to see you here in Kim's class. Thank you for allowing me to come on this journey with you to learn English. Hope to see you soon.